10% ever? Perfect. What you must understand, if you look at this, it's almost logical, children. What do you suppose the word percent means? Got to take it apart, maybe put a little slash between the R and the C there. Percent. You've heard the word cent before. Observer, century, centurion, centimeter, centigrade. Terrible cent. I don't know. Caleb?
How much is out of?
That's exactly what percent means. Percent means out of 100. And, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the percent symbol, which is this little gizmo gadget, with a little creativity, maybe, just maybe, you can see why, oh wait, I missed it, hold it, why, copy, paste, I think I can grab this one. Now what am I going to do? Now it's going to take a while. Oh, I can use this, wait. You can maybe see why, because if you take the legs of this, part of this, and you rearrange the order just a fuzz, you get something I like to call a 100. Do we not? Just like that. Percent is out of 100. This is noise.
Hey,
Oh, we have to project the thing off.
sorry. She also just had to make her own mail system. So
I think that first one.
I think that's what I thought. But so I
You give a
have
reason why?
because
Oh.
of the interest to see if everyone's goal. So I have to ask for them to provide the vote. She wants me to do it on paper and her face.
I'm guessing it's still valuable. And then you have face plates, a couple for the back to the electrical one, if you want to do this too. Because you're not going there, I see you going there. Then you would take them and take those down and put them for the plate, but that's just silly.
The cabling we can figure out, right?
What's that?
Cabling we can figure out on our own.
I haven't seen that go do that.
I just didn't understand her question. She needs to know today. Thank you.
How about that? Alright, so, children, so you can make this connection here. Alright, most of you know that the fraction 1, the fraction 1/2 is what percent? Half of something is, if you make Jacob 50%. But how do we get that? Well, if you think about percent meaning out of 100, that means we're going to take our fraction 1/2 and try to make it how many, not out of 1 out of 2, but how many out of 100, so we make an equal fraction with that. And that was our whole thing. How do I go from 2 to 100? I have to multiply by what? Or 50. So if I multiply 1 times 50, I get 50 over 100. Percent means out of 100, so you take only the top number and write it as 15%. I guess the 100 comes over there. So when you have a fraction, if it already has 100 in the bottom of it, it's pretty easy to make it a percent. For example, if you were shooting free throws and you only made 7 out of 100, guess what your percent is? 7%, 7 out of 100. Alright? But what if you made 30 out of 50 free throws? What would your percent there be? You just need to change the bottom so that it has 100 on the bottom. How do I go from 50 to 100? I need to multiply by 2, so I have to multiply the top by 2. What is 30 times 2? So if you make 30 out of 50 free throws, your percent is 60%, because that equals making 60 out of 100. So let's write down the story problem here, because they're not always quite that simple, but here's one. If 8 out of 20 students are boys, if 8 out of 20 students are boys, comma, what percent are boys? Question mark, question mark, question mark. So in order to change the percents, the first thing you want to do is make it a fraction. And then step 2 is change the fraction to percent. So 8 out of 20, what fraction would be 8 out of 20? I know it's a tough one. Fraction, 8 out of 20 is what fraction, Zach?
40%.
Wait, tell me what fraction this is first. 8/20ths, that's my fraction, and now I need to make it a percent by making it, instead of out of 20, making it out of 100, Zach, which gives me, right, because 20 times 5 is 100, 8 times 5 is 40, which makes 40%. And what am I going to see when you do this on your paper? This part right here. Don't just be giving me a 40%, children. I need thought processes. This should be something you love to do because that's what all of your grades in school are based on percentages. You know, for example, on the math test, every test I give has 20 questions. So, if you get, let's say, 18 questions right, if you get 18 questions right, what percent is that? Well, that means you got 18 out of 20 right. How many would that be out of 100 at that same ratio? Multiply by 5, multiply 18 times 5, you get a whopping 90%, which is only a B. But that's what you test. Oh, what about this one? What if there are 400 beads? In 400 beads, comma, 60 are red. What percent are red? Question mark. What fraction am I going to make? Aaron Murray, what fraction am I going to make? Out of 400. And notice I want percent, so I want to make this 100. So I'm not going to multiply in this case. I'm going to have to divide by 4. And divide 60 by 4. Might have to do it off to the side here. Let's see, 60 divided by 4, oh, it's 15. So what is my percent? We should actually try this. Here. Whoever gets this right, I will let's share this bag. Tell me what percent of the Skittles you think in this bag are red. Write it down on your paper and circle it. Huh? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Your percent is a ratio, Zach. So if you think, if you think half of them are, you put 50%. If you think a quarter of them are, 25%. If you think 10% are, 10 out of 100? I don't know. What would you guess? I don't know if it said something here. There's one package in here.
That's useful.
I don't know. What would you say? There's 40 in here?
Are you gonna round it?
I will do it the best I can. We'll get the people that get it closest. I'm assuming more than one is going to win here. Make sure you put your answers down and don't change them on me. Somehow I gotta use it. Everybody got an answer? Put it down. And then put your pens down so you don't change. Sophia is going to be my assistant. And Brian. I'm going to unleash the bag. You guys count how many are there. Wait, no, count how many total. We need to know how many total Skittles there are. Total Skittles equals. Did we get total Skittles? Wait, how many total Skittles are there? They said there's 13 reds. Yeah, that doesn't. That's not the percent though. That's how many reds there are. We need to know how many total there are, and then we have to change it out of 13 out of how many. Then we need to make it out of 100. Oh, there are 58 non-red ones? Did you really get 58 total with the reds? Oh, that'd be too easy. Are you 100% sure?
Count again.
Sure. With that. Go 100%. Alright, so this is not for the faint of heart here. Wait, there's 15 reds?
Yeah, 15 rounds.
Well, that's going to be too easy. If there actually is 15 out of 60, that actually works out to a nice percent, and we know what that percent would be. Don't tell just yet. You guys need to spread them apart.
Yeah.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 15, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 42, 46, 48, 50. And you said there are 15?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be 65. 15 out of 65. Now, 65 times what is 100 doesn't work. But one thing we can do, this fraction actually can be reduced. So we're going to reduce and see if that helps. What number goes into both of these? 5, right? If you divide them both by 5, you get 3 over 15. Oh! 3/15 reduces down to 1/5. 5 times what is 100? 20. So 1 times 20 is 20. Now, what is freakily eerie about that is, how many different colors are there? 5.
5 colors.
So if you think 1 out of 5 is red, what percent is 1 out of 5? 20%. Who wrote 20% down? Oh, yes, there are 4 people, and there are 65. It doesn't split evenly into that. Somehow we'll have to.
I guess my record was.
We had some 20%ers. All right.
I had 20.
I'll put all these in a bucket here. How many do you each get?
2.
Too many, probably. When I give the assignment, you'll have to go to the back here and count out your 65 divided by 4. Right, there's just 4 of you? 65 divided by 4. 1, 25, 16, and you'll have to split that last one into a bunch of different groups. Somebody's going to have to cut that into quarter one of them, and then you get the thing. All right, for tomorrow.